Well, hello! Michael here. Looking again today at Psalms 34, specifically verse 4 through to 6 for the exposition. Let's go ahead and read those verses then from this psalm, which is subtitled, Taste and See that the Lord is Good. Verse 4, I sought the Lord, and he heard me, and delivered me from all my fears. They looked unto him, and were lightened, and their faces were not ashamed. Verse 6, This poor man cried, and the Lord heard him, and saved him out of all his troubles. And so we look to the treasure of David with the exposition. Verse 4, I sought the Lord, and he heard me. It must have been in a very confused manner that David prayed, and there must have been much of self-sufficiency in his prayer, or he would not have resorted to methods of such dubious morality as pretending to be mad and behaving as a lunatic. Yet his poor limping prayer had an acceptance and brought him succor. The more reason for then celebrating the abounding mercy of the Lord. We may seek God even when we have sinned. If sin could blockade the mercy seat, it would be all over with us. But the mercy is that they are gifts even for the rebellious, and an advocate for men who sin. And delivered me from all my fears. God makes a perfect work of it. He clears away both our fears and their causes, all of them without exception. Glory be to his name. Prayer sweeps the field, slays all the enemies, and even buries their bones. Note the egoism of this verse and of those preceding it. We need not blush to speak of ourselves, when in so doing we honestly aim at glorifying God, and not at exalting ourselves. Some are foolishly squeamish upon this point, but they should remember that when modesty robs God, it is most immodest. Verse 5, They looked unto him, and were lightened. The psalmist avows that his case was not at all peculiar. It was matched in the lives of all the faithful. They too, each one of them, on looking to their Lord, were brightened up. Their faces began to shine. Their spirits were uplifted. What a means of blessing one look at the Lord may be. There is life, light, liberty, love, everything in fact in a look at the crucified one. Never did a sore heart look in vain to the good physician. Never a dying soul turned its darkening eye to the brazen serpent to find its virtues gone. And their faces were not ashamed. Their faces were covered with joy, but not with blushes. He who trusts in God has no need to be ashamed of his confidence. Time and eternity will both justify his reliance. Verse 6, This poor man cried. Here he returns to his own case. He was poor indeed, and so utterly friendless that his life was in great jeopardy. But he cried in his heart to the protector of his people and found relief. His prayer was a cry for brevity and bitterness, for earnestness and simplicity, for artlessness and grief. It was a poor man's cry, but it was none the less powerful with heaven, for the Lord heard him. And to be heard of God is to be delivered. And so it is added that the Lord saved him out of all his troubles. At once and altogether David was clean rid of all his woes. The Lord sweeps our griefs away as men destroy a hive of hornets, or as the wind clears away the mist. Prayer can clear us of troubles as easily as the Lord made redance of the frogs and flies of Egypt when Moses entreated him. This verse is the psalmist's own personal testimony. He being dead yet speaketh. Let the afflicted reader take heart and be of good courage. Wow. Taste and see that the Lord is good. What a beautiful set of verses. Trust you enjoyed the meditation. Michael here declaring yet again, Jesus is Lord. Until next time, be blessed.